Welcome to the Simply Business Club podcast, the podcast that is simply conversational. We'll talk to members of the club, find out about their business and how Simply Business Club supports them. Simply Business Club, the rising tide that lifts all boats.
Hello and welcome to the Simply Business Club podcast. We are here with Ian Wade from
WBS Copiers and Printers.
Amazing. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Fabulous. And obviously we're here with John,
Hello.
our fearless leader.
Thank you very much.
How's things?
Yeah, really good, thank you.
Amazing.
Yeah, all good.
So, Ian, this is your week. We are here to conversationally network with you.
Yeah, brilliant. I feel like, what was that film? Or was it This Is Your Life?
I thought you was going to say Good Morning Vietnam.
This is your life. No, thank you for having me. So, Simply Business Club, yeah. How long have I been a member, John? You can probably tell me.
Well, since the start. So since 3 years. Yeah.
So we sort of like spoke about it, didn't we? And you thought, I've got this great idea. And I do it.
Yeah.
Do it. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm a big advocate of networking, as you know, because I'm at 98% of my business has come from networking. So being part of SBC, why would I not?
So before we go into that, because that's amazing, and obviously we love that the club is helping you that much. What do you do? Tell us about.
What do I do?
Yeah.
So WBS Copiers and Printers. So a little bit of a clue in the title there, but they do scan as well. And that goes along with my little tagline, print, copy, scan. I'm still the man. So yeah, printers, copiers, scanning machines, small to large, one user to a trust of schools we look after, mainly local with our 4 engineers, and then part of a bigger group of 92. So we've got partners in Scotland as well, and that was one of my old service managers. So yeah, we're looking to help anybody. Difference with us on the bottom of our lovely cards that was done by a lovely local man. That's got Simply in the title somewhere as well. And part of the reason that the service with a difference is after being 34 years in the industry, it was 10 years ago that the penny dropped after being a service manager for a couple of really top leading companies. I thought, you know what? It was the contracts, it was the unethical, it was the service levels, feeling like my hands were just tied. I thought, no, this is just wrong. I could do this a lot better. And then I had a personal circumstance with my brother passing away. And it was just at that point, it's like, no, life is too short. We're doing this. So we sold our house. I quit my job. We moved down to the lovely Thanet. And WBS was born nearly 10 years ago. So it'll be 10 years, 15th of March next month.
Wow, happy birthday.
So yeah, where has that time gone? Flew by.
Yeah, it's amazing. Happy birthday, 10 years.
I know, 10 years. And do you know, we was talking the other day about the 3, 5 and 7.
Yeah.
And like we made the 3, we made the 5, we made the 7. And I actually did ask a little while ago, well, what about the 10? Like what happens at 10? Like, is that it? It was just, are we the big boy now? We made it? Or
it.
what?
Can't get rid of you now.
I know.
Got your
10
big boy
years
pants
in.
on.
I know. I'm still looking at growth, but it ain't happened. I'm still 4 foot nothing.
It's true.
So growth hasn't happened in this industry.
It's true.
For me.
Most of my kids are bigger than you. And it's quite weird.
Well, they're 4, 6 and 7, ain't they?
Yeah,
They're bigger
something
than
like that, yeah.
But yeah, 10 years.
That's amazing. So talking of growth, I mean, you've got to this point. You've obviously grown a hell of a lot in that 10 years. What do you see for the next 10 years?
Yeah, so a big one for us for January was taking on Mark. And because we've got 4 freelance technicians, which have been fantastic, don't get me wrong, but it's then having that next stage. And we got to that point last year where we knew, so we started recruiting, and funny enough through networking as well. We had about 4 candidates, and Mark came along and he just blew us away. And his knowledge, his experience, what he can bring to the table is just phenomenal, and I'm really excited to get him on board. So he started in January. So yeah, so that's a big change.
What's your values? What are WBS's values? and
Service. It's all about the service communication, because I feel if we get that right, the rest will follow anyway. If we give good service, people will recommend us. And that's what we've done throughout the schools, because schools unfortunately don't get the service levels. And I thought, I come from a service background. I've been service for 34 years. So if we carry on just doing what we do, and it's funny, we won a little award, a little personal award that we won last year. And when they said about it and what WBS brings to the table, I thought, but I've done nothing different. I just do what I say I'm going to do, and that's provide service.
I think obviously being one of your customers and also knowing you for several years and talking to other people who use your services, the level of service that you get from WBS is it's not BS. It's not you see some people, oh yeah, well, we're brilliant at this and we're brilliant at that. It's like, no, honestly, the levels that you get from WBS are superb. You talk about like your response time as being 30 minutes or whatever it is. It really is, and that's incredible. When you've got schools out there and you've got big businesses out there that are taking days and days and days to be sorted out. Yeah. Printing's important. Yeah. Especially it's like, if a school needs 30 copies or something for the kids in a class or whatever, then it's like they need that now. They don't need it in 3 days' time. They need it now.
And responses it's been one for us that a lot of other companies will say they will respond within an SLA, service level agreement, of either 8 hours or 4 hours. And we was quoting the other week, and they said, what's your response times? I said, well, we're a 4-hour response. They said, yeah, the other ones said they was a 4-hour response, but what happened, they responded by a phone call to say, yeah, we've logged your call. That was their response of 4 hours.
Oh, wow.
Our response of 4 hours is that we get to you within 4 hours. Now, the other big difference with that, being a techie myself and owning the business, is when we vet the calls, and with our new unit in Manston, if you've smashed a glass, we're not going to turn up without a glass. Why would we? Now, a lot of companies will send an engineer into the schools and companies and go, well, why didn't you bring the part? We told your office we've broke the glass. Oh, well, we have to come and attend to meet the service level agreements. What is the point in that? Yeah. And that's the beauty now of having the new unit in Ramsgate last year, which was a big one for us. Yeah. And if anybody wants to come along and visit and have a coffee, please do, because it's there on the shelves. The parts are there. The machines are there. We have a donor machine that's got that odd gear, which has got to go round on a boat, which is being diverted at the moment all around because of the unfortunate circumstances that we face. But we're not sitting there waiting for a rare clutch or a rare gear. We take that off the parts in the unit. We then take that to the customer, get the customer going. It doesn't matter if we wait 3 weeks for the part to go back into our warehouse. So so that are some of the big changes I think that we're aiming for this year with Mark. I've got to learn to work more on it, but I love working in it. Yeah. I've been a techie for 34 years, so that will be a big challenge for me. I've got to be working more on it this year.
But you say that, I mean, isn't it about sort of looking at the business and going, where do I want to be in it? And I know I have to do a few amounts on it, but then you delegate to others to then assist you so that you can be exactly... You started the business because this is the role you want.
Yeah,
so carry that on.
Yeah, carry it on. And obviously we've got Jo in accounts now. She's been very instrumental last year. She's actually been a good business probably partner. Although she's not a partner, she works in accounts, but she's very good at... Why haven't you done that? You said you was going to do it. It's more like
accountability.
Accountability. Yeah. Thank you, John. Accountability partner.
You know about that one.
I do.
So Jo's been very good at that. So yeah. And Jamie, my wife, bless her. She's she doesn't go to many networking. She'd hate doing something like this. But hats off to that girl, because when we started, oh my God, have I had to eat my words, because I said she wouldn't know a toner from a tea bag. Oh my God. Like now she really does kick me into shape. And Jay's responsible for logging all the service calls. She monitors over 423 machines. which are monitored for all the consumables. She even spotted John's machine the other day.
I was just going to say that. You messaged me the other day just to say, oh, by the way, your magenta's on 6%. And I was like, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Normally mine's at the point where the colour comes out a different colour and I go, oh, bloody, what's that?
But the good thing with that is that we got the message to say the 6%, and I checked the stock. We've got one of the magenta left, so it's all good. So it's like when that one finishes, and then we'll put that one in, and then obviously we'll sort out with Ian the next one, and it'll be like, so again, going back to what you said earlier, it's like, yeah, we'll never run out. Like, we don't print loads, so it's not a major thing, but we at least know.
That.
Yeah, sorry, mate. yeah, it's something to do with trees or something. I think. But at the end of the day, I know that I've got what I need for now, and then so I'm not going to be, oh damn, we've run out of one. What are we going to do? We jump on Amazon or something like that, and that's not what you want to do. You want to sort of help local, but you need it quick, and it's like, but so having them on the shelf is the way forward.
So Mrs. Wade's she's definitely brilliant on that. And last year we started to look. I mean, we're all trying to do a bit for the planet, aren't we? Let's face it. And we've got to. And last year we was looking at Epsom as a dealership, and I've got some of my technicians that work for other people using the product. So we monitored them closely for over a year. We got one in the unit ourselves. We put it in the office. We printed to it. We used it for scanning. And they do look very good. So we've currently done 12 of those. So the good thing about these products is there's 60% less electricity used. There's less components going into landfill, so it's good from that point of view. And there are grants because they fall under the sustainability grants. So in Kent at the moment, there's 20% back off your products, and Hive and Folkestone is 40%.
Wow.
So they're a fast first print out time. They save on electricity, and they're very green. So we're always trying to do that. And be green. We collect all of our empties from our customers. They don't go to landfill. They go off to a supplier, and then they're reused. So the waste boxes we tend to try and empty. So we're quite proud of our green credentials that we're trying to do. And Epsom was a big move for us last year. And I've got to say, so far the Epsoms have been absolutely brilliant.
Amazing.
So watch that space with more of those.
So how are you measuring your business's level of success? What is success to you in your work?
Yeah, I think for us, customer feedback is amazing.
Yeah.
And being recommended, again, is amazing. I got a message last week. I was called a printer god.
Ooh.
Are you sure it said God and not dog?
Yeah, I know. But I mean, just success. Yeah, I mean, we've got the statistics, we've got QuickBooks, we've got a very comprehensive service system where I can run reports. Everything goes through there. It monitors travel time, how long we're on site, parts fitted to. So for the success of the business, I think being recommended. Yes, there's growth. I've just alluded to 426 machines. We do monitor it. The system's good. We have targets that we try to meet each year with growth. I'm still 4'2", but no, I got in before John. But growth generally is. I'm not always looking at number crunching. I think it's when machines are still going out the door. You're obviously doing something right. The phone keeps ringing. We still get asked to quote for machines. So really success, all the time that's happening. But I was taught a very valuable lesson with my motorcycle career when I was an instructor. The minute you sit back and think, right, that's it. I'm the best rider out there. I don't need to learn. No. I think all business owners, we all look at it. And if we sit back and go, that's it, we've made it. No. I think we're all learning. There's lessons to be learned. There's always room for improvements. And I've asked customers sometimes, you're saying that we're very good at what we do. I don't want to hear that. I'd like you to tell me 3 things that you think I could now do better.
Yeah.
That's great.
And if we get that, and they're saying that we're good, okay, we're good, but how can we be better than good? What can we do? Please, I want you to tell me 3 things.
It's a good shout.
So there you go, John.
We're not always
I want
100%,
3 things
are we?
from you about your printer and our services. 3 things.
What,
So
right
have
now?
a-
What, right now?
No, not right now. I wouldn't put you on the spot that much. But that's
Yeah.
something that I think we all need to look at.
That's great. I love that.
Well, that's it. We're not all 100%, and no one ever is. I think the 100% doesn't exist. So it's when you look for that, how can I get as close to that as possible? If you're sitting at 95%, well, how can I be 96? How can I be 97? How can I be 98? You know, everyone wants to get to that 99.9. So yeah, no, you're exactly right.
I think, like you say, there's always that the measure of 100% is always growing, is always eluding you and getting further away. So actually, do you know what? I just want to succeed 1% more every day.
Yeah.
If I can do that, great.
Yeah.
So you've been in business 10 years. We've heard your successes. We've heard your growth, your plans for the future. Give us some tips. Come on.
Some tips. What? Well, how come we made it to 10 years? I think for us, deliver what you are offering. Communication. Things go wrong. We've had. I'll give you a classic example of a school. They thought they was helping. They got a pair of scissors and they thought they cut the bit out that got stuck in the machine. They actually cut out part of the machine. So right. So what's happened? So with that, again, being a service provider, went and got the machine, grabbed it, loaned them a machine. So if you're going to offer a service, although that's happened, what can we do? We still need to offer a service. It's a school. So what do they need to do? They need to copy and they need to print. So what can we do? We'll grab a machine. Yes, it's not the machine they had. So, and communication. When things go wrong, we had a parcel that was delivered by said courier companies. I won't mention the 3 little letters that they got or anything like that. But that completely went wrong. Now, communication. Had they communicated with us and said that it was wrong, but the customer phoned us up, it's exploded in the box, in the bag, luckily didn't go everywhere. Communication, again, no worries, we've got emergency stock at the unit in Manston. What's going to happen is one of us will jump in the car and we're going to bring that emergency toner down for you.
Yeah.
And asking customers, when we get service calls come in, we sometimes would just say to them, look, on a scale of 1 to 10, how urgent is this? Well, look, I'm literally, the schools are sitting there, the class, they're tapping on the desk and they're not, no papers to write on. Right. And we prioritise that. So between communication and the levels of service that you're going to give, just I think if you do what you're going to do, then you'll succeed. But also with networking, it's the same with networking, right? These meetings are business meetings. If you're going to join a group, and you're going to be part of that group, turn up.
Yeah.
Because guess what? If you don't turn up to the meeting, are you going to turn up to fix their printer? Oh, well, Ian's never at the meeting. No, I'm nearly always at the meetings, rare occasions.
Yeah.
And I think that shines through on the person that you are. When you commit, and a funny conversation last week, I met a guy and he said to me, oh, Mark, one of your mates has just moved to Manson. And I said, oh, I'll pop and see him and had a cup of tea. I see him last week. He said, Mark said you popped in. I said, well, I said I was going to pop in.
Yeah.
So if it's personal and if it's business, if you say you're going to do it, then do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just follow through, follow up.
And I think it's that honesty thing, isn't it? Like you say, so, you know, the SBC, we have our 3 online meetings every week, but we've always made it clear from our perspective that we won't ever commit to a Thursday meeting. So you all know Thursdays you're unlikely to see us, but that boundary's already been set. That ruling is already there. So it's not like, oh, they didn't show again, or oh, where are they?
Yeah.
So that honesty's there.
Yeah. But also commitment from that point of view. I mean, I've had some situations where an SBC meeting's been going on and I've put it on and listened to the people on the way to a job.
Yeah.
And just let the leaders know that at that point, look, I'm here, but please don't introduce me because I can't really talk because I'm driving. But you can play it through the radio and you can still listen. You're still there. Other members can see that WBS is still logged into the Zoom meeting listening.
Yeah.
We're still there.
You're engaged.
But the 13 points of contact, I was listening to that. And sometimes it takes 13 points of contact for that person to pick up the phone. They might have seen your logo. They might have heard you on a podcast. They might have seen you at a meeting. They might have seen your van. They might have picked your business card. 13 points of contact. And that person will pick up, well, not guaranteed, but there's a rule of thumb there.
I remember watching an episode of Hustle. Do you remember Hustle?
Yeah.
And I remember watching an episode of Hustle where that was exactly the point. And they had billboards everywhere. They had the side of the buses. They had vans going all over because the mark, they knew where he walked from his car to his office, and they knew exactly where he was going to be going every day. And they did this for a couple of weeks, and it was just like, there it is, there it is, there it is, there it is. And so when they set up the con, it was all set up. Yeah. It wasn't a real company. It wasn't a real thing. I can't even remember what they did, but it was very much about exactly that. It was there. It's like Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola spent a stupid amount of money on all of their advertising. Yeah. Why do they do that? Yeah. Because you walk into any pub in the world and go, can I have a Coke? Yeah. You don't ask for Pepsi.
That's it. They go, sorry, can't.
Sorry,
Pepsi.
Sorry, Pepsi.
Oh, okay, yeah. But
I want people walking into pubs going, put up your skinny into man. That'd be lovely.
Yeah, good old Chanel.
So obviously, like you say, with all of that being said, you are a member of the SBC. You have been there from the beginning. What has it done for you?
Contacts. I mean, you've got to earn your stripes. So from day dot, when you decide to come into any business club, people need to get to, it's a cheesy saying, like, know and trust. Yeah. But you do need to be able to get to like, know and trust people. And different to some other clubs, what I like about SBC is friendship. There are lots of friends. Well, through COVID, poor John and his family, they were all hit and the washing machine blew up. Ian, could you grab our washing machine? Sure. Grab the washing machine from said supermarket. I mentioned no names of providers are available. And dropped it. And then I got struck with my whole family. And John was round, dropped some milk off bread. The friendship around. I've got golfing mates. I've got friends, people that go out with. We go walking. Michelle, bless her now, had the big help over Christmas, personal friend there. And as far as leads, the leads are the Brucey bonus. Yeah. So, but I think, look at obviously what you can give. If you give, you'll get it. And I think that comes natural. So many people go for 3 months and, no, it didn't work for me. I've not had a lead. Well, we've only seen you once. So you've got to, with Simply, there's ample opportunity. You've got 3 options every week. I mean, come on, guys. Like, one of them, you can be up at 7:30 on a Friday morning. You're done by 8:30. Yeah. So you can easily do it. You can listen while you're travelling. Yeah. So I think the difference with SBC is that the free online meetings, and the other week we had Paris, Swindon. Yeah. 3 different countries, John.
We had France, Sweden, England, Wales, and Scotland.
Yeah. So SBC, rock on. Keep doing what you do.
Well, as you say,
right behind you.
I often say, and I'm going to say it probably in every time we do a podcast, to be honest. It's as it says on here, create change. The rising tide lifts all boats. Well, if we all support each other, we all win. Yeah. You know, and that is an absolute necessity in life, isn't it? If, like, you know, the 3 of us around the room, is like we've all helped each other at some point. It might be in business, it might be personal, but we're still there. We're still seeing each other all the time. And it's like, if someone needs a printer, Ian's the man. If someone, if it's you guys, if it's video, it's like you guys, it's like, and it's not even like it's one thing. It's like if another printer company came along, I'd tell them to get out. No, but it would be, they would come along, and then so we'd sort of see how you guys could work together rather than saying, oh no, lockouts. It's like the reason we don't do lockouts is actually because there's going to be times like you've got an agreement around the country, haven't you, where you've got sort of around about 100 different techies, so you could service someone up in Dundee, up in Scotland, or something like that, because and didn't you have one the other day where someone in Scotland needed something down here
in Margate,
and so you've got that thing where you can share your knowledge all over the country, where so it's the same for us. If we had someone in this in our club, they would come along and actually you guys would probably be able to work together. And it's the same in every industry. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's that key of conversational networking, isn't it?
Yes.
There's always talking, there's always conversation going on, and that's what we're all about.
Even some of the smaller little groups we've had, the conversational ones, where you can just, if you've got a situation, go, what should I do? Me and John had a real good brainstorm last year with something, and being able to go deeper with some other things I'm thinking about doing this. What do you reckon, John? Because we all know it within our own businesses, but for someone else looking from outside in your business, see it completely differently.
Yeah.
And I think that's the conversational networking. And even so in the smaller groups we've had, big groups are good, don't get me wrong, but small groups, to be able to elaborate, it's been brilliant.
Well, we've been able to take it from the meeting to, like, I've come round to yours for a coffee or whatever, and it's been like, you've had a little wobble about, take on an employee. It's like, no, you need to do it. You've got it. It's okay. WBS is solid. It's going to make it. It's, and it's just that outside entity that I was able to come in and say, no, it's okay. It's going to be all good.
Give me a big old man hug.
Yeah, this is it.
Amazing. So, Ian, there's only one more thing to do, and that's to tell everybody how they get in touch with you, how they find WBS.
Yeah, so obviously on the website it's waybusinesssolutions.com or 0333 660 721.
I feel another song coming on with that phone
I
number.
think, let's get Chanel involved.
LinkedIn and Facebook, we're on both of those, and a little bit of Instagram now, thanks to you kicking my bottom.
Fabulous. Right, thank you very, very much for coming onto the SBC Simply Business Club. I should really use the whole word as well. Simply Business Club podcast. Simply Business Club podcast.
Put your teeth in.
Yeah. We would love to have you back in the future as well. I'm sure there's so much more to conversationalise with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And thank you very much.
Wonderful.
Thanks for having me.
Nice one. Thank you, Ian.
Thank you for listening to the Simply Business Club podcast. Keeping business simply conversational. Simply Business Club, supporting business growth and sharing knowledge. Join us to get involved. See you in the next episode. This podcast is a Your Video Team production. To start your podcast, contact Your Video Team now.